Welcome to Z and B Live, your unfiltered Lego podcast. Y'all, you have no idea. This guy is ready to cook today, man. Sometimes I wish y'all could be in our little pre-production meetings so you can all see this dude.
No. That's the behind the scenes podcast when we're 3 years from now, after we've, figured ourselves out a little more.
Dude gets spicy sometimes. I love it.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it.
It's spectacular. Welcome to another ZMB Live, your unfiltered Lego podcast. We bring you this podcast every Thursday live at 7 p.m. Eastern time over on YouTube. Don't forget to catch us on all the other podcast channels like Spotify and Apple Podcast, or really anywhere you can find your audio podcasts. Do us a huge favor right now. I want to see everybody right now in our live chat on YouTube smashing those heart buttons, those like buttons. Just bash the heck out of them. That I see it. I want to see more of it. There it is. Thank you guys so much for being here, and make sure if you are out there in the social sphere, go ahead and share out links to the podcast in your own social channels. I'm looking at you, Mr. Matt Mellish, Mr. Lego Land, member out there. Put it out there, share it out there. For everybody to come find us, come hang out with us, and share their love of Lego and opinions on what's happening in the current Lego world. Man, we got a lot happening in the Lego world this week. Good Lord. Brian is just he's just chomping at the bit. He's like, I want to talk.
One day we're going to stop picking on Matt Mellish. One day.
One of these days.
Not any day soon.
But not this day.
No, not
this day. Not today.
I took a nice 45-minute nap earlier like I woke up in a different reality, and then I did laundry, and I took another nap, and I feel
you took 2 naps today.
Well, but like it was kind of a lucid. Listen, these ideas don't come out they come out of somewhere, but like they gotta percolate. I'm doing really good. Everything's okay. We talked in the pre-show. Things are awesome.
Right.
So
no wonder. See, this is right now, chat. You have figured out why we have moved the show to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Dude took 2, not 1, 2 naps today.
Because I'm just like, I'm in the middle of doing all this stuff, and I'm like, all right, I need a fresh set of eyes in order to, and like when I'm working on stuff, I'm like, bam, and I just nail it, and it's great. So I'm like, instead of stressing myself out until 3 o'clock in the morning, let me just like relax for a minute. And April's gonna be stupid regardless. So like, let me. So
did you move? You had a giant calendar behind you. Did you move that just so it didn't like cause you mental stress?
No, it's right here. I have it right here.
Oh, it's on the other side of the wall now. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it used to be like behind you in your little scene there, and we could see, the lack of days that you had available to, breathe.
Yeah, well, Brick World is off of there now, so at least there's something. And then there's other stuff that's, occupying that space. So yeah, no, there's no shortage of things. It's still on there. But March was my month. I knew coming into the year, like nothing is really happening. I was saying earlier, I feel like I'm in a waiting period of like just waiting for shoes to drop and then we can go. So I'm like, let me take advantage of this time by doing kind of nothing.
You say nothing's happening in March, but like March is almost basically half over at this point, and I feel like it just flew by because I feel like things are happening, and I don't know if it's just the planning going on in the background, preparing for a busy April. I mean, you've got your stuff going on in April. I've got a lot of stuff going on in April. Like April looks pretty spicy right now, which is kind of crazy as we're kind of getting ready for that, that push into the summer and everything. And I feel like we're kind of dusting off the cobwebs from winter, right? Like it's ready to kind of spring up and get the creative juices flowing again for different reasons and different purposes. And we got a lot of stuff cooking between the two of us and combined, and we'll get into more of that as the show carries on here. But Lego is also cooking, to bring it back to the topic of the show. Lego's also cooking in March and April and beyond. They've got a lot of stuff ready to go, and I feel like we're gonna have a lot to talk about. So I feel like we need to get into it. We need to just get out of the gate, hit it over the head. We ended the show last week talking about a rumor that has now translated into reality with Lego officially announcing the Mario Kart standard kart set, officially announced on Mario Day. Wait a minute. Who in Denmark got a hold of a calendar? Bravo, Lego. I applaud you. Announced on Mario Day, 1,972 pieces at a retail price of $169.99 USD, slated for a May 15th release. However, pre-orders are currently available. Meow. Which still begs the question, when do they decide to do the pre-order thing over not doing the pre-order thing? What's the deal with pre-orders? Like, I don't understand when they choose this versus when they don't. I love that they did this. And again, at a time when they are releasing so many major sets and have slated us for so many major releases over just the next 6 months, right? Like, thank you for allowing us pre-orders. Thank you for allowing us time to budget. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity to check our bank accounts, become one with our credit card statements, and plan ahead. Thank you, Lego. I appreciate that. I'm going to back away from the microphone and let Brian take this one.
So here's the deal, man. We live in a time where Lego can go from releasing the Disney, Mickey Mouse, Fantasia, whatever it is, thing that looks like a rat, not a mouse, but a rat. And in the same breath, from the same company, and not too dissimilar of a time period, we get a figure that looks like this, that looks so unbelievably good. When you have every opportunity to mess this up, and it looks this good, from the character to the cart to the stand being 360 degrees, the price point, the curvature you see in the face across the body of the cart, you'd think I'm talking about something else entirely with the adjectives that I'm using to describe this thing, all right? All these curves everywhere, Zach. And it's amazing.
He's talking about me, chat. He's talking about me.
It's a great set. And I hope the building experience is as good, if not better, than the NES. I want this to be my favorite set of all time. I am a big fan of characters, brick-built characters. Bowser, obviously amazing. This is amazing. They had every way they could have messed it up, and they didn't. And I just don't understand why we have such a big discrepancy in quality going from something like this to Marvel having the Avengers display plate and others. I know it's different designers. I know it's different timelines and IP and whatever. But Lego is synonymous for its consistent quality across all the products. So what happened? And we'll get into that. What I want out of Lego now, you've set an unrealistic expectation, people in Denmark, because this is releasing in May. Amazing. I don't have to wait until October to get a brand new Nintendo Ultimate Collector set. Fantastic. I love that. I'm very grateful for that. I want a brand new Ultimate Collector Mario Kart, whether it be Luigi, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Peach, Bowser Jr., whoever you want to do. I want one of these releasing every May until the day I die. Every single May. Because you have unlimited characters, carts, and vehicles in general to pull from to make this a series. This is a slam dunk. Every single one of them will sell if they have the same level of quality, which they will. And I want that. I want it. And if there's anything else I would want besides that castle, it's something like this releasing every May. I hope somebody's listening to me. And in Denmark right now, there's a Luigi and a Peach and a Toad and a Donkey Kong all sitting right next to each other. That's what I want out of this.
It's fascinating that they put this out. So they teased us, right? So we said back when the Mario Kart sets were announced last year that it made sense if they were going to do an 18 plus set this year, that would be it. That it would be a big USC Ultimate Collector Series-esque Mario Kart. Like, that's what they needed. I personally, when I had that in my head, I never pictured Mario in the seat. Never did. So the fact that they were able to incorporate that, like, I love it when Lego surprises me, and that's what they did here. But then they threw us for a loop, and they said, nope, you're getting a Game Boy in October. Why announce that? Why announce that for October if they're hiding this back from Mario? Like, I just don't understand the logic about releasing the Game Boy announcement when they did it, when they knew that they were sitting on this for a May launch. Where's the logic there?
I still maintain that they don't want to muddle the messaging of Switch 2. So this is going to release in May, and then probably Switch 2. You're looking at June, July, August. So if you're thinking overall Nintendo marketing, then your Game Boy would be announced in September. So September, when they're already promoting their games for the holiday or whatever. And we kind of see this a little bit because this was the only announcement from Nintendo in general for Mario Day. No game, no nothing, whatever. So clearly this was their thing, which is fine. As a Nintendo fan, did I want a Mario Movie 2 trailer or a 3D Mario trailer? Yeah, of course. But like, this is their thing. So I think they wanted to give this space to breathe. They don't want to muddle messaging with Switch 2. So they're like, let's get this out of the way. We'll talk about it 2 weeks before it comes out in October. We'll keep this in the pocket and then Switch 2.
That still doesn't compute with me, though. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, because they're muddying the waters by announcing it as early as they did, and then coming out and saying we're actually going to put out this other 18 plus set way before that you even get a full glimpse of it. Like, that's making it the waters more murky by making us forget that thing even exists now, right? Like,
well, to be fair, Lego is announcing stuff 2 weeks before it comes out, and then there's a new thing that comes out 2 weeks after anyways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that goes back to a lot of questions I had.
Is that T-Rex even available yet?
Yes. For insiders, it came out Tuesday.
Okay, so we're already on to Mario and the Shire.
Yeah. Right. Before it ever actually
right.
hits, which we'll get to the Shire in a little bit, but that's a whole other problem that they've got to get figured out. So when it comes to the Mario Kart, because of this and because of the push into the Mario Kart line and everything this year, are you a little surprised that they are not releasing not dual pack, but a dual release of a Mario and a Luigi, both in May at the same time? During this whole year of racing that they seem to be with F1 and everything like that.
No, you can do one of these every year. I don't see a reason to release two at the same time.
Gotcha. And I'm with you. I think this Mario is absolutely spectacular. The design of it looks great. I don't understand how you can have the same company design things like Chewbacca and Dobby and Hagrid's motorbike and C-3PO, which again, they're not horrible. Hagrid's motorbike is kind of bad. They're not terrible. Rocket Raccoon, right? But buildable figures have not been great, except in Mario, because the Bowser was
another phenomenal one.
Bowser was spectacular. Like, again, you look at it, you know exactly what it is. It looks exactly like it should. There's not one thing in there where you're like, oh, if they did no, like, it looks great. It looks perfect. And really, even the kind of bland piranha plant looks great.
Yep.
Like it looks like it's supposed to, right? They have knocked every 18 plus Mario set out of the park. They don't have a dud in that line. Not one.
Nope.
Who's in charge of the Mario line, and why put them in charge of everything?
Well, Carl Miriam is one of those people who has been in charge of a lot of that. You know, Bowser, there was the reveal video and he was all dressed up and whatever. Yeah, and designers move across projects and, you know, they don't stay on one thing necessarily forever. But I think that might be Nintendo's vice grip on their IP kind of, you know, raining down, where they're like, you're not messing this up. You're not doing this. Like, if it doesn't look like Mario, it's not hitting the shelf, because Bowser, you know, he could be a little wonky. You could let him be a little wonky if you really wanted him to. Mario, you can't mess up. You can't mess it up. You can't do it. And Nintendo is so protective of their stuff. And, you know, not for nothing, Epic Universe looks beautiful. The whole land looks beautiful. Everything looks like it should. It doesn't look like a knockoff of Nintendo anything. So for as much as they can be stringent and whatever, I think this is them saying it's got to be quality. It's got to be, you know, whatever.
And I know we kind of hate on the lack of minifigs because we have the buildable characters, we have the electronic characters, but even the buildable ones, man, like they all look good. They all look really good. Like when you put them together, and the Goombas and the all of Bowser's kids and stuff, like they all look really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And I haven't really interacted too much with the electronic ones, but I did the Mario and Yoshi set this last week, and having that little electric Mario be able to sit on that thing and pick up the micro vibrations of that crank and move the Super Mario World scene along, like it literally stops moving if you stop cranking, just because it's picking up micro vibrations to move that thing along. I got goosebumps, dude. Like I legit got goosebumps building that. And that was a set that I kind of poo-pooed a lot until I built it. And once I built it, there were several times where I squealed with excitement, and I didn't expect that.
I felt that same way when the NES came out, and before it was available publicly. I got it, like, I think a few days early, and I was so moved by the process because it all came together. It was a unified build. It was beautiful. So I'm glad you had it with that. I have it currently displayed out in my living room, so I'm a big fan of that one too.
Okay, so back to the cart now. So, you know, one of the things that made the NES so special, obviously, was the nostalgia factor, right? There were a lot of fun little Easter eggs, you know, kind of hidden in there. The TV, the complexity of the TV and the way that functioned was really, really neat. What are you expecting? Do you have any expectations with this set that you think you're going to get or hoping to get out of it that makes it your favorite set of all time?
I mean, I think we're just going to get an interactive tile somewhere. I'm actually pulling up other images of it just to see if there's a place to, like, you know, not that they're probably going to keep it hidden. I would bet on the back of the cart somewhere there's something that, you know, it latches open, or you take off a tile and you'll see an interactive tile and you can pop Mario back there. They literally all they have to do is take one of the tiles from the Mario Kart smaller one and just put it there. Same thing. It's fine. I don't know what of the building experience could get me to have it be my favorite of. I think it's just the final product is going to make me really love this thing. I built the Super Mario 64 model not too long ago as a custom build. So that's the Mario 64 rendition of him. And this one is going to be taller with the cart and everything factored in. So that's obviously very differently stylized. But it all coming together with these weird Technic innards and a lot of these, you know, it's just super interesting. I think if not for the actual build process, I would love to see if he can pop out of the cart without taking too many parts off, because there's no product images where it shows him standing next to the cart. So the only image that's out there, and this is when I really wish somebody from fan media, put up a thing and like asked somebody, but they didn't do that. There's one shot of these product photos somewhere where it shows the cart top down without him in it, and it only looks like there's a couple of plates that really connect him to the cart. So if you could take those off and it doesn't look too wonky, then you could have him stand right next to the cart, and you can pose him however you want.
You don't think we're getting like articulation in those legs? There's no way. You think so?
I think they're like, if this is the body, I think they do this.
Really? You think we're gonna get that much? Okay.
I mean, if you look at it, like, there's other images that are out there of it, but like, it looks like a joint almost. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it just clicks in. I have no idea.
I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see it. I would love to, because the idea of him being able to do that, being able to stand, pose next to it, I think, as far as negativity goes with the set, I've heard a few people have said, if he
who
give
me a list. Give me a list.
He needs names. I'm protecting their privacy.
Witness protection.
They're blurred out, and their voice is all
changed, and they don't talk. You can't tell who it is and all that stuff.
They have said a couple things. One, if he doesn't come out of the cart, they think that's a misstep. Okay. I don't need him to come out of the cart. Like, no, I don't know. I think it looks good. And not only that, but the stand that it comes with, and the fact that it can spin and turn and tip and
360. Yeah.
That's a stand that can set a new, no pun intended, a new standard for other, vehicles going forward, right? Like, that's something that they've designed and figured out and perfected, and now that they can start using that for other buildable vehicles. Some people have kind of said that his face is too serious. He's got like the one printed tile with the smile on there, not, no open mouth smile or anything like that. Is that bothering you at all? Nothing?
I'm sorry. Was that a complaint people had?
I had a couple people say that they didn't think his face was right because it wasn't smiling enough.
I don't know what your standard for smiling is in life. I
know you're the wrong person to ask this, considering how much you smile.
True. I don't see any issue here. I don't see any issue. You could have had him have.
It's like looking in a mirror, right, Brian?
What?
It's like looking in a mirror, right?
Like that. What's really interesting? Like, yeah, you could have done like a more printed open mouth smile. And this is actually something I was talking with Kevin about when it came to Pro Gamer's Guide. There is some philosophy when it comes to having your character look a certain way on a box for a video game, where if they look, generally speaking, when a game releases in Japan, they look a lot more jovial and happy, whereas opposed to more American releases, more frequently they'll look more ticked off to have that more
intense. I believe is the word. Intense.
What?
Intense.
Yes, intense. So that's a sidebar to all this. I don't think that this is meant to be evocative of like competition or whatever. And on the cover of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in the US, he's very happy. I don't see discontentment in that face. I think it's not even the mouth. I think it's the eyebrows. The eyebrows looking as pointed as they do, that's generally how you convey negativity. Mm-hmm. If you're exaggerating in a cartoon sense, it's that eyebrows going down like that. And if you look at a regular picture of Mario, they look exactly like that. So, you can't even do anything otherwise because that's a printed 2x4 tile on those eye sockets there. So you can't really adjust them anymore without it looking off. So I think it's just.
I think that's what people are talking about, though. Is that the misstep that if you could dig
I think
deep,
they're grasping at straws. I think this is
look,
pretty...
man. I'm in the perfect camp here. I think this set is perfect. But like, if you could appease the people that out there that wonder if it's almost too clean, too whatever. Like you got the mustache as a 3D kind of, piece.
Sweet. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The nose is a custom piece.
But the eyebrows and eyes are not. They're printed tiles as opposed to that 3D style. Maybe you could get a eyebrow situation where you could maneuver it and adjust it.
You would have had the eyes look indented.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would be conveyed set back, and you don't want that.
You mean like Chewbacca and, Rocket Raccoon and some of these other nightmare fuelish things that we've been talking about. That's my point. That's why this is perfect. Like shut up. They did what they needed to do. Like, this is great. This set is great. And, you can easily find little nitpick things and stuff. But
here's the thing. When the Statue of Liberty came out in architecture, there were immediately people who went in and made a custom face for it, right? Because Lego just had a blank shield for a face.
Right.
A very clear modification you can do. I would be hard-pressed to find anybody day one or ever that could come up with a really good solution to Mario's eyes and eyebrows at this scale as a modification for this set. I don't know if that's possible, because that is a 2x4 printed tile that makes up the eyes and eyebrows for that character. That is a remarkable challenge without it looking horrific. So good luck. I don't think you can pull it off.
Mm-hmm. We already talked about this during the rumor phase last week with the lack of glider. Do you feel like this is missing a banana? Do you feel like this is missing a shell? Do you feel like this is missing that not necessarily interactive element, but that extra little zhuzh of an element that shows action?
You could have done a GWP of any of those things for all of these and have them, the question block, the banana, the blue shell, that is the one, right?
Sure.
And, maybe there's some functionality where he could hold it or something, right? I think that's a missed opportunity. I wouldn't call it a misstep, but missed opportunity to do a GWP.
And look, I look at it and I say, because I that was a topic that came up this week when they announced it, and I kind of said, look, at 1,972 pieces at $170,
can't complain.
I mean, it's perfectly priced. It's a good piece count. And if you start adding in those elements, now you're raising the piece count. You're going to raise the price with that. And the fact that Lego is actually with an IP that they're paying, a fee to, right? Like the fact that they're able to push that out there at that many pieces at $170. Once again, I applaud Lego for that. And I don't want to, I don't want to start adding pieces just to add them to help increase that price, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to, if you start getting into the 2,000 piece range because you added a blue shell or a banana or whatever, now you're making your way up to the $200 range, and it's going to get, people are going to look at it and kind of start turning their nose up at it and say, oh, well, it's just Lego more expensive being Lego again and whatever.
What I find interesting here is they went with the standard Mario Kart, where I thought they would have gone with the SNES warp pipe frame, which is more bare bones than that. So that leads me to believe, if they do a Luigi, what kart are they going to do? Are they going to do a motorcycle, or are they going to do whatever? So they could do the pipe frame with Luigi. That's a classic one. So it technically is, it would be less pieces. There's less of a frame to it, and you can include your banana there. So I think keeping them at the same price is going to be important, at least for a while, if you do multiple. But yeah, I want one of these every year until the day I die.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh baby.
How do you follow that one up?
Well, it's interesting because Lego has the same problem of following this up. As a matter of fact, they were so eager to follow up Mario Kart that they released it early. And announced it earlier than what they were supposed to, apparently. So thanks to a designer signing event page leak over on the Lego Icons site, somebody fat-fingered a button apparently or something and made a particular banner go live before it was meant to, and showed off a brand new Lord of the Rings set that has been rumored to be coming out. and announced it by basically showing off that, hey, there's going to be a designer signing event. I can't remember where it was going to be, but it was going to be a designer signing event, and it took off. Man, I saw prominent. I'm not calling you out, Matt Mellish. You did not do this. I saw prominent land members posting it in their social media.
Because the second it's on a Lego website, it's fair game.
Right. And boy, they took it right down. Instead of just owning it.
Did they really?
They took it right down. That page is gone.
Oh, the page, but people still posted about it and left it.
People are yes. Oh yeah. Well, I haven't gone back to see social media. A lot of it was stories, and those things disappear, right away anyway.
Yeah.
But the page itself on Lego.com, gone. And here we are for a set that has a designer signing event scheduled for April 5th. It is still not on that website. Now I go back to what I said to start the show. Here we got a set, May 15th, available for pre-orders right now, giving us plenty of time to allocate funds, to budget, to blah, 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 blah. And the Shire bag end, whatever they're calling it, we have no clue. Like, we know it's coming, but they're not giving us the information that we need right now to plan for that. Meaning the price was rumored to be at $200. Then all of a sudden the conversation changed to $270. So,
well, that's a little.
So now we're not sure, you're almost, $70, $70. That's a pretty hefty swing on a price at a time when there's going to be a lot of other sets coming out. On top of which, there's also a rumored GWP that's going to be coming with it, which is going to force people's hands early to get their hands on the set.
What would that be?
The rumored GWP that is supposed to be included is set number 40761, Smeagol and Deagle, an 881 piece set featuring the two river folk that found the ring. And Smeagol turned into Gollum. And, oh my God!
As a sidebar,
Smeagol becomes Gollum.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, all right.
Sidebar: I ended up getting the original Shire because I like The Hobbit, and I ended up selling it because I never opened it, and I'm like, The Hobbit's stupid, so I never built it. This is a really good-looking Lego set, though. Yeah, like
this is lovely.
Objectively, this is dope.
It's lovely set. Announce it so I can get a better look at it, please. Before the fact that it goes live on April 1st or whatever. Like, announce it. Like, come on, man. Like, what's going on here? Like, give it to me.
I did see people complaining about the sad tree, and the only sad tree I've ever cared about was the Deku tree. So I look at that and I think it's sad. There's not been a tree Legos come out with and I've been like, wow, that's a great tree.
That tree is going to be such a minor part of that whole set. The fun is inside. The fun is going to be finding all the little Easter eggs inside Bag End and just reliving the story and all the minifigs that come with it. And I love all the little sub builds. It's going to, it's got sub builds. So it's going to take up a pretty large footprint when you finally do get a chance to see it. But yeah, it's going to be all the details inside, the little micro builds of bookshelves and the pantry and the table and all of the bedroom and, Bilbo's like writing nook and all of this stuff. Like that's that set. It's everything going. The outside of it's going to be cute. You're going to love it. It's going to look pretty on your shelf and whatever. But it's all the stuff going on inside. Those are the elements that are going to make you squeal while you're putting it together as a Lord of the Rings fan. And I love that they're leaning into the Lord of the Rings stuff. And they're going to continue to do it. Currently going through Barad-dûr myself. And, I haven't really hit that moment yet with that set. And I wasn't sure when we're going to hit that moment with that set. But Barad-dûr was the same situation. It just kind of like popped up on the website and was like, okay, it's live. You know, here it is. Oh, and by the way, we've got this exclusive GWP to go with it. So you better go out and spend your $500 now because that fell beast is going to go quick. And it did within a couple hours, that thing was gone. It was like an early release for insiders, and that thing was gone before it hit main release. So, you know, I'm not saying you're not going to get pre-orders for something like this because there is a gift with purchase attached, but it would be nice to go ahead and let us know that this set is coming officially, right? Put it on the website, give us a price so we can kind of put it in that little wish list cart and we can say, okay, we're bookmarking this. It's going to have this gift with purchase. This kind of, you know, moves above, this moves above my riverboat set or whatever, right? Like this kind of takes, you know, priority over that, or takes priority over this or whatever, right? We can budget ahead of time, and we can, you know, instead of, I don't like pressure sales. And I think a lot of the times with, especially if FOMO takes control of your body like it does me, and you're chasing GWPs, which I'm trying not to, but they do get a pretty hefty penny added to them after the fact. That Fell Beast is a $200 GWP right now. Like people are buying them up for that anywhere between 150 to $200. Like it's a big chunk of change, you know. And we saw the same thing happen with the Jabba sail barge, you know, with that GWP with that. Like those are high ticket items that they're making, you know, decent coin. So if it's something you're feeling about reselling, you know, again, it's kind of a budget thing. I don't know. It's just, you already teased it. You already showed it. It's coming. You already put it on your own website. You already told us about a signer event or designer signing event. Just put it on the website. Just pop it up there. What's the problem? Like, why hold on to this?
It's a marketing plan clashing against what Nintendo wanted. They probably got to give some a couple days of buffer at minimum because of Mario Day and all that.
Ugh, it's so gross.
Yeah, it's the game you play, man. So here's a question for the uninformed here, and uninformed seems to be only me based on live chat reactions here. We have the Shire, Barad-dûr. We have Rivendell. We have Minas Tirith. That could be a thing. I know that, right? I would like Minas Tirith to be a thing. Yeah. What else could you do from Lord of the Rings? Orthanc, Tower of Orthanc, yep.
Yeah.
Or remaster or proper.
Yeah, I think Orthanc is the next one, right? Because they've had that. They need to kind of redo that one and put it back out there again, right? Like that would make.
But I think if you're, I mean, this is again Mr. Uninformed here. If you're looking at large black tower from Lord of the Rings, Barad-dûr kind of is it. So to have two on the shelf at the same time, it's kind of lame.
Not for a Lord of the Rings fan. That's who this is for. That's who this is for. Sure. It's the same thing with the Deku trees and whatever. Like there were people, the Cullen house. There are people out there buying these sets as their one and only Lego set. Like they're going out because they're Lord of the Rings fans or they're Twilight fans or what. They don't have, stacks of Lego sitting in a backlog or whatever. They're buying 1, 2, or 3 max sets that appeal to them because of the story, because they're rabid fans, right? And Lord of the Rings fans are nuts. Like they're even more nuts than Star Wars fans. Like they're nuts. So you put an Orthanc out there and they don't care. They want, there's literally a book called The Two Towers. Like that's what they are.
Oh, is that what those are?
Yeah. So like they want those 2 towers. Like you want those in your collection. Like that makes sense. So buildable characters, I'd love to see, Treebeard. Like that would be dope. Buildable Treebeard figure, whatever thing.
UCS One ring. Nice. Yeah, for sure. Balrog, right? That, I mean, like there's that. Okay, so then here's the other question pertaining to this, just for the sake of conversation. We have 270, 550, 500. These are expensive. What's an entry point for Lord of the Rings Lego fans in 2025 into 2026?
This might be it.
No, come on. You got to do a Balrog and make it, Well, actually, there's a rumor of these Lord of the Rings bookends involving a Balrog.
So I personally, I've watched several people build actual book nooks, on Twitch, right? Kind of crafty and whatever. They're lovely. Not for me. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't have the patience to do all the little wood planks and things and glue them in and whatever. You give me a book nook in Lego form with micro builds inside that tell a story. Like Lord of the Rings is a perfect application for that. Harry Potter's way better.
Yeah.
You give me Harry Potter book nooks. So
well, even bookends. Why don't you have like each end of the Hogwarts Express and it looks like it's going through like that's, I feel like I've seen that in ideas like 5 times. Like you could do that with Disney, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, literally anything ever.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes, you could do it. It's more of book ends. I feel like still need a little bit of weight and I don't know, durability that Lego doesn't provide, but a book nook where it like slides in between books, like, and it's in a stack and it's telling a story throughout panels inside. That's when it starts to get a little exciting. And I think you could start showing scenes from the story of Lord of the Rings in a book nook style. And I think that's a really, really good idea.
I have a genius marketing plan. Someone's got to hire me at some point, dude. This is stupid. This is so stupid. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. You're WB. You know that there's these book nooks coming out for Lego Harry Potter from each of the movies. You got the bookends, whatever. You release special editions of the covers, Lego versions, and you have covers as Lego art. You could make an entire release based around Lego-ifying the book covers and making the most out of it in the actual physical book and for the Lego product itself. Slam dunk. I don't know what someone cut me a check, dude. Cut me a check.
They don't need to. You're giving it all away for free.
For now, until I go to Hollywood, and then they're gonna pay me the big bucks.
Oh, Hollywood O'Brien, everybody.
Almond milk and free caramel.
So yeah, if we start seeing some book nooks, I think that's a way that you can have a little bit more of an entry level into Lord of the Rings without it just being brickheads. I think that's fine. But yeah, I mean, as far as playability types of sets, like this is less than a Rivendell and a little bit more of an entry into that, world where you still get some of that play set and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I'm not sure where else there's a lot of stuff where you can go, and it's a lot of big buildings. And Minas Tirith is the one it's a little problematic because it's so big. It's so large.
$800 easy.
It's takes Rivendell and turns it up to 11. You know what I mean? Like
so they're gonna wait 18 months after the Death Star, see how people respond to it, and then Minas Tirith at $800. Guarantee it.
And people will pay it. I mean, it is the Jurassic Park mentality there. People will pay it if they do it right. If there are,
which they've done all these right so far. So
yeah, my not necessarily concern. My theory is if you do a Minas Tirith, the only way you can do it is like the original Hogwarts castle, and it's all micro scale and like it's all. Yeah. Like you don't have minifigs in there. There's not minifigs walking around or whatever. It's all little like little studs representing characters, but it's multi-leveled and a lot of architecture and stuff like that. And it's, kind of based around like that because like I said, Minas Tirith is so big and so intricate that I just don't know how you shrink that down into a Barad-dûr I guess they kind of did it with Barad-dûr. Like they really did realistically. I guess they kind of shrunk that sucker down. Yeah. But I mean, that was more of a tower where this is a city. Like, Rivendell's still technically a city, but they based it all around like one structure. as opposed to Minas Tirith, which is just like this built into a rock. Like it's, Helm's Deep would be another one. Like, I don't know. There's a lot. Like they got a lot of stuff they could do still that they haven't even touched on yet. So I want to see them do more. Keep it moving. Keep it moving with Lord of the Rings. Give us more to feed off of. It's not a theme that's dying anytime soon, I feel like, because I think people are buying it. And that leads us into the 2024 financial reports. All about that money. Lego be all about that money. Revenue line go up, sale line go up, operating profit line go up, net profit go up. Everything be going up in a time when the rest of the toy world is seeing a decline in sales. And it's been interesting to see Lego continue those trends of moving forward. Matter of fact, they went up so much that I still, as crazy it may sound now after looking at these numbers, I still stand by my 2025 prediction that 2025's numbers will be less than 2024's. I still stand by that because their sales are so good in 2024. We'll see how it goes. They could sell 100,000 of these $1,000 Death Stars, and my whole thing is busted at that point. But I don't know if they will. We'll see.
I think this might be skewed a little bit. So big releases past year, Lego Fortnite. That's a big thing. Now that is not product. So what I would love to see as a number, I don't know if it's here somewhere, but the amount of units that have sold for physical product. I don't even know how you quantify that, but like that Lego Fortnite revenue is essentially a payout of a license. So if people are buying the Lego Battle Pass, if they're maybe if there's the actual Battle Pass and then Lego gets a cut based on blah 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 blah, that's essentially free money because Epic is taking on that. So I don't know.
Out of all of their new IPs that they pushed out, in 2024, Fortnite, Animal Crossing, what were some of the other new ones that they pushed out? Oh, Wicked, Wednesday. Yep. Like Fortnite was the one that they like highlighted as far as launched, like in their sales report. It was like, we launched Lego Fortnite, but there's a reason.
It's entirely separate. So like, that's their first time working with Epic officially. So they've worked with Universal for Wicked and then Nintendo with Animal Crossing and Mario. So
yeah. And that, and I feel like they've got stake in that because of the game side of it, right? Like, I mean, frankly, it's not that it's working well, but that's probably the only Lego game working right now. It
ain't that Lego Horizons, my guy. It is not popping. Yeah. So,
it is interesting. So they tend to, highlight a few things in their financial reports. They go through, they always kind of list their popular themes, right? This year, not surprising, Star Wars is on the list. Technic is on the list. City's on the list. Harry Potter's on the list.
Right and true. Yep.
Those are all kind of whatever. Icons is on the list. And, Icons has that Lord of the Rings brand attached.
Well, that's just a catch-all rebrand. That's kind of
but they've got, like, that's the thing though, is like Icons is prominent here. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that whether we like it or not, as a toy company, they have doubled down and are showing and are not hiding the fact that they are going after hard the adult market. That's where they're going, and it's not stopping. They might still be a toy company, but they're making toys for adults. That's what they're making. Mm-hmm. They're not. I mean, they may want to try to spin that, but it's when they put it in their own financial reports and their list of popular themes are Icons, Star Wars, Technic, Harry Potter. Now, look, Harry Potter and Star Wars has a little bit of a branch where you have, kid play sets, but they also have 18 plus sets in there. Technic leans more towards adults. Icons leans more towards adults.
This is why I would love to see the amount of units, and especially per they'll never give you how much sold of what sets, and they'll never do that. But I mean, fly on the wall, Mr. Marketing Department. I would love to see how many of those sale barges did you actually sell? How many of these other things did you actually sell? To me, that tells a more accurate story compared to what I feel might be a broad stroke here, because if you have more expensive sets and icons, of course you're going to generate more money based on selling less stuff. So if you equate how many individual people were buying these things across how many markets and whatever. So I think they rebranded icons to make it that kind of catch-all and make it look good on a document like this for not shareholders, I don't know who, because they're not a publicly traded company. So it's very sneaky of them in their own way. But I don't think it really explains anything unless we had more information personally.
Yeah. They're also, highlighting things like their botanical collection and expanding upon that. And they want to continue to expand upon that, even going into 2025.
My friends at the Lego store have said that has skyrocketed.
Yeah.
People
and
love it.
Adults. I mean, that's again, these are all adult. I mean, even the Fortnite stuff, like the battle bus kind of walks that line a little bit of adult kid playset, right? But like there are a lot of adults that were excited about that battle bus just as much as the kids were. And then, but what else did they come out with? They came out with a Peely, like a displayable Peely. They came out with a displayable loot llama. Like these are not necessarily kids sets. And so the majority of that Fortnite line appealed to the adult, and they're not being shy about it. They're just saying we know, we know where our bread is buttered. We're gonna lean into it, whether we like it or not. So I would say you're gonna be seeing more of these dioramas. You're gonna be seeing more of just the display stuff with the no play features. You're gonna just be, and prices are gonna continue to go up because they're up. The adults, they're looking at the adults that have the money, that are wanting to spend it on sets like $1,000 Death Star or $500 UCS set of some kind or whatever, these $400, $500, $600 Technic sets and stuff like that. They're leaning into that, and they are going to continue to lean in, into that and sprinkle in a little bit of the City is a play set for, kids, but I mean, come on, man. We all know people that are out there mocking up their own cities and stuff. They're using the heck out of these things to build different elements for. And it's still a lot of adults out there buying city stuff for various reasons. So it's been interesting though to see it's always interesting to see these numbers and how they compare and previous years and everything like that. Overall total impact though is always interesting to me. And not just impact on your wallet, but impact in general. And I want to highlight something here in their impact report for 2024. Right now, they currently have 840 products available. 46% of those were released in 2024. 46% of that 840 number was released in 2024. So, and we've already seen it to start this year. It ain't slowing down. We've already been smashed in the face with like a huge release schedule, with huge release schedules, coming behind us in May and April and May and June and so on and so forth, right? So one of the things that Lego has, and this I'm playing devil's advocate with their numbers here. One of the things that Lego has really come to the forefront on is, and they continue to say, even in this current financial report, is they want to make sure that their environmental impact is low. They want to lower their environmental impact as much as possible. Forget all of the quantity over quality stuff that sometimes we talk about on this show and other people talk about across the internet when it comes to Lego and their QC, their quality assurance issues that they have by releasing so much so quickly. They're releasing so much so quickly that they're retiring sets quickly. They already have sets in 2025 that they are currently scheduled for retirement at the end of 2025. So they've released sets in 2025 already. already to release it.
Which ones do we know?
It's just going to be stuff like some of the brickheads and things like that they're going to, pull off the shelf right away. But again, when it comes to retirement, like we never know for certain until they actually pull them off the shelf, right? But like as far as the rumor mill goes on retirement, there are sets that have been released in 2025 that people are already saying that are going to be retired at the end of 2025. That's a 1-year lifespan. If you're talking about environmental impact and you're releasing if you're making a set, releasing a bunch of pieces, and you're pushing this stuff out here only to pull them back off of shelves within a year, to just turn around and have to make bricks all over again for a brand new set, don't you think that's a better reason? Forget your quality control. Maybe that's a better reason to scale it back a little bit. Forget our pain on our wallets. Maybe you need to start thinking about that environmental impact that you have and pull your release schedule back a little bit because of that. Let sets live a little bit longer on the shelf. Let it be less of an environmental impact because of the actual production of the plastic that you're using, and let them live a little bit. Just for, food for thought on this, Lego. Just saying. We still haven't seen paper sacks here in the States. I don't know when we're getting those. And I don't really know how much environmentally impactful those are anyway, but
yeah, I don't really have much of a constructive comment here other than, I think Lego always tries to be forward thinking with stuff, but like, what is the actual impact of it? What is it measurable? You can do all these different things, and paper bags, yeah, but there's plastic lining on the inside of them. So are they actually recyclable? Are they even being recycled by the end of people throwing them in the trash? We're talking practicality versus what looks good on a slide here.
But
what it is.
The impact goes beyond environmental. Obviously, other toy companies are feeling that impact, right? You got people like Mattel now who are seeing a decline in net sales. They're at a negative 1% in revenue in 2024. Now has made them pivot, and they've said, okay, we got to get a piece of this Lego action because Mega Bloks ain't doing it. Like we got to come up with something. Maybe that's why they're rebranding. Maybe that's this whole Mattel brick whatever thing that it is they're doing. Maybe
shop.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're doing what they're doing. I don't know, but they start seeing other people in a market that is trending downwards. They're trending upwards, and they're saying, okay, we got to start looking at what they're doing and figure out why. Why is it that they continue to go up, line go up instead of line go down when it comes to profits? So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Mr. Bricks O'Brien, you got a busy April ahead of you. We talked about it before, and why don't you talk a little bit about the Pro Gamer's Guide to Defeating Trolls? We've got some big events coming up in April that I would love for the audience to know about.
Yes, so the next adventure in the Pro Gamers Guide series launches on Kickstarter April 26th. I believe in the time since the last show, Kickstarter has deemed it as a project they love, so official recognition from the platform, which is super cool. And we are now at 190 followers, people who clicked notify me on launch on that one here. So everybody watching live probably has already done it, so thank you. If you have not clicked on it already, please be sure to do so. It helps get more people behind what we're doing here. And what's really cool and really special is, we can save that for the post show and tell people about it on the show later.
Oh, wow. So just an incentive for everybody to stick around for post shows or be here for post shows for exclusive content is what you're saying.
And if anybody hasn't kicked up their Kickstarter account to bookmark it quite yet, please do so. Next reveal at 200 people who hit that notify me on launch button. We're just 10 away at the time of recording. So hopefully we can make it happen soon.
There you go. So big, not big announcement, but an announcement in the post show today. If you guys are with us in the live chat here, make sure you stick around for the post show at the end. of this week's ZMB Live. And maybe that'll encourage more of you to come by during the live show at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday evenings. Come and spend a little hour with us on Thursday evenings here on YouTube for the live show and hang out with us for a few extra minutes during the post show. We would love to see you here. We would love to. We're reading your comments and we're trying to weave them into the show when we can, but really the post show is an opportunity for us to interact with you. If you've got anything else to say, call me stupid, call him silly, call whatever, call us out, say, yes, you actually said exactly what I thought too, Mr. Bricks O'Brien. Whatever. That's what the post show is for. That's what we want to hear from you guys about all of that stuff. So if you are in the live audience right now, make sure you stick around for that post show. Mr. Bricks O'Brien, another fantastic freaking Z&B Live show with you.
Yeah,
man, these hours just go, baby.
Good. It's good. Go. I love it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with us. Make sure you like, subscribe, share out, hit those bell notification icons here on YouTube. And if you can, share out the link on all of your social media platforms. And don't forget to head on over to the podcast channels, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast, and share out those things. Leave a comment on those, or a review also helps that wonderful little algorithm. Appreciate you guys. If you're in the live chat right now, stick around. We're gonna do the post show here in just a little bit. Thank you guys, Mr. Bricks O'Brien. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We will see you guys next week. Bye. How much you want to bet he's gone, chat? How much you want to bet when we come back to this screen, he is nowhere to be found? Oh, yep, there it is. Yep, there it was. You can't keep that guy in his seat for 30 seconds after I hit. He's got the bladder of an infant. It's nap number 3. Nap number 3. Yo, welcome to the ZMB Live post show. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with us. I appreciate you guys. Boy, I tell you what, man, these hours go really, really quick. I almost felt like just having like it just say on the list, just say Mario Kart. We could have done a whole show just with Mario Kart and what were those next 18 plus Mario sets that we wanted to see.
By the way, I chug a bunch of water and I have 2 Coke Zeros at any given time. All right. So,
speaking of which, we got Chick-fil-A tonight, don't I?
There you go. I had Chick-fil-A the other day. I've been really bad about eating out this week. I don't know why. It's
all right. Well,
me.
Tell the folks here in the chat what's happening later in April.
Well, later in May.
May.
So, as a lot of you know, the Mario Kart is coming out on May 15th, 2025. And obviously, I'm going to be buying it, building it. I will be building it live. And it turns out that aligns pretty nicely with the end of the Pro Gamer's Guide to Defeating Trolls Kickstarter project on May 17th. So, rather than me building it by myself or dedicating a typical live show to it, I figure why not wrap up the Pro Gamer's Guide to Defeating Trolls Kickstarter project by building the Mario Kart all in one sitting as a all-day live show event. Cue the high porn. And then I thought... Got him that time. And then I thought, well, why should I just sit there and build Lego alone like a schmuck when I could invite others to be part of it? So I'm happy to announce that I'll have Mr. Zach M. Rutledge with me to build the Mario Kart. Chiming in live from Indianapolis, all right? But not only Mr. Zach M. Rutledge, we are also going to have Mr. More, Astro Canuck, Brickin' Together, Lady Together, and Brickin' Nick on the panel as well. So it is basically I've shoulder tapped the people that have been jazzed about building the Mario Kart ASAP. And I'm like, hey, do you want to chime in? And they're like, wow, okay, cool. So yeah.
He even created a little, Discord group and he left it already. So
I'm still in it. I'm in it. All right.
he just
So yeah, for anybody that's been super jazzed about it, I'm like, yeah, let's do this thing. So it is a drop in, drop out, be there the whole time, 30 minutes, whatever you want to do. Just kind of getting people together. So, there might be more people if I find that, in passing, oh, I'm really excited about the Mario Kart and blah, 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 blah. Maybe there's more room, but maybe there's not.
Hey, I'm going to encourage all of y'all, even if you're not like on the panel, so to speak, and in the Discord, like save your set for that day and maybe just build along with us in chat, and experience the whole set with us all together. It'll be a big communal experience, right?
So the plan is, the Kickstarter goes live April 26th at 1 p.m. The live stream starts at noon. So that's going to be a whole day long event. And then this will conclude the Kickstarter. So start at noon on May 12th, go until, hopefully it gets all done in one day on my end, at least. And then the Kickstarter is going to close at 9 p.m. Eastern. So ideally I'm done by then. Everybody else is done, or whoever's, I don't know. It's a very tentative plan right now, but there is a bunch of people building the Mario Kart with me digitally on the day the Kickstarter closes. That's all I know.
It's going to be awesome. What a great way to put a big bow on it, of the whole thing, right? The lead up and all that. It's cool. I like that.
I want Lindsay's comment pinned to my wall. I love watching my card get charged by Kickstarter. It's great. Awesome. Love it.
Wow.
But no, it'll be fun. Like the past two, I've kind of closed it up by myself because Kevin's been in Connecticut, and we are going to start the live stream together. And there is a plan. I haven't even made publicly about that yet. What the plan for that day is specifically, but there is a plan. And then, why not have people, the people that have been very supportive in chat, like sharing the link and bookmarks and stuff, and you and a bunch of people have. So
he was basically bullied into it, chat.
What?
I said you were basically bullied into it.
No. Was it you that said you should do it with other people?
Because I'm a bully.
No, well, normally I'm like, I don't want to inconvenience people, and but yeah, all right. It's a good idea. Let's do it.
I'm excited. I mean, forget the fact that just being able to build that set. I'm excited to, get to hang out with you and Nick and the Brickins. I guess it's the.
Dude, I messaged Nick and I'm like, not to add more to your plate, but I got this thing going on. He's like, oh, I don't have anything on my schedule. I have to pencil you in, Mr. Saviano. I'm like, thanks, man. All right.
Well, he penciled you in, though. That means he can erase it.
Yeah, that's true, actually. That's true.
So we got the Brickin' Nicks and the Brickins together. So we got a lot of Brickins going on.
So we can finally address the controversy of Twitch member Andrew stealing his likeness.
I know. Man, is there enough of that going around on Twitch? We don't need more of that, do we?
I know, right? Yes, Aaron, it is a Saturday because a lot of people who watch me are families. So obviously Saturday is a, day that people are available. It'll be a big day. Here's what I really want to do. Like, either we're all going to be in Discord together, which I think is the lamer option. But if all of us can be streaming on our channels and have just a big conglomerate of like everyone, and I'm going to apply for Twitch front page. So if we get front page and everybody streaming together, and it's like a whole, like, whatever this is, it's gonna be this. So
It's gonna be wild. I can't wait. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be amazing. Good luck, moderators.
the moderators are cooked.
The moderators are like, this,
You're
man.
cooked.
I'm out. I'm sick that day. I don't know what.
RC Spaceport's like, man, I gotta play some Destiny. I
It
can't.
really
I can't
is the
do
Mario
this.
Kart Power Hour. I feel like we all got to dress like.
What if we all dressed as a character?
I've got the Mario suit, so y'all got to figure out something else. Sorry, Brian.
I have an inflatable Luigi suit. I got the pump fix.
Can you sit in that and build?
Yeah.
Can you?
I
really?
played all of Luigi's Mansion 3 in that suit.
Okay. Well, there you go. Get the Luigi. We need
Yeah,
somebody. We need get Andrew to be Bowser. And then Lady together can be
Kelly can be Bowser, Andrew can be Peach.
Peach. That's even better. That's even better. I love it.
I'll pay someone to dress as Roy.
That's amazing. What's the next 18 plus Mario set that they could do? Obviously, forget the Game Boy. What's the next thing that they could do? And no more like, yes, I'm with you. I want to see a Mario Kart every single year. What's every October now? So like that's the May set. Mario Kart's May every October. What's that set?
You literally do a console, man. You can do N64. You could do the Wii.
It's so boring though.
I mean, you could do the Wii. That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe.
I think it'd be cool.
I don't know. But then are you just doing another TV again? Like you're just going back to the well?
No, you have the Wii and then it cracks open on the side. You see whatever in there with the No, I don't think you need a TV for that.
Yeah. It's crazy that the Wii is nostalgic now.
Yeah.
The Wii remote smashed through a TV.
Yeah, I know.
I love it. GameCube, man. Nintendo, like they don't release, consoles very often, but when they do, they typically get it right.
Yeah, and then
Except
Switch
it's the
2,
Virtual
man.
Boy. Unless it's
Right around the
Virtual
corner.
Boy.
What'd you say?
I said unless it's the Virtual Boy
Yeah. And the Wii U.
and the Wii U. Yeah.
Those are the two. Something Smash Bros. I mean, you'd have to do a minifigure series, and they're probably not going to do that. Yeah, I don't really know. The audit, Roy, don't put me in a cardiac arrest. Don't put. I will literally.
Once again, you did not go. Wait, did you? Who was it? You? Somebody? Maybe it was Matt. Said, this year was all about racing. Next year is the year of the castle, right? And they do classic castle and everything like that.
Yeah, Matt Mellish messaged me that, and I sent him a voice memo of me. We'll phrase it as not being polite with him putting dreams in my mind.
Hey man, we did. I mean, what's left? You got. They did Pirate the year before Space, right? And then they did Space, and then now they're doing racing. What's next?
Pirate Racing, Space, Castle. I feel like we had the year of Castle with Lion Knights before.
Right, but that's been several years, right? That's been that's 5 years, man.
Yeah, they already did it. That was the first one.
Right. They're coming back around now.
No, that was 90th anniversary. Yeah, Adventures with
More
Johnny
Vikings.
Thunder. Western? No, they're not going to do Western. They're Vikings.
We got Viking Village, right? Like, so I kind of put that under Pirates and
Yeah.
I mean, that's a weird hybrid, right? Because that's like because you had El Dorado, and then, but I'm thinking like, right, like you had
Yeah, Town. Yeah, Town. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. That's the other. I mean, that is the other theme.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, so this was the 5th year of Lego Mario. So this is the 5th year anniversary set. So it's kind of a good one. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know what it would take, because there is a custom Peach's Castle out there. Like, I'm not in a position to like make it quite yet. I want to wait and see if there's an official one and whatever. I think it will happen eventually.
They are going to give it. They are going to give it to you. It's just a question of when.
Yeah.
Because
and you know what? If you told me 5 months ago I'd be in the position I am in life right now, I'd say you're crazy. So, you know, life is crazy and it'll happen when it's going to happen and whatever.
They're going to, I think it was RC Spaceport said they're going to do a dry, what was it called? Dry Bowser, whatever, the dry Bowser castle first. Like, that's what they'll do, is a UCS version of that before they do a Peach's Castle. I think you're going to get it. And I just don't see, I don't know, other than them doing, again, consoles and things, there's things that they could go back to the well on, right? I feel like doing another console is going back to the well. I feel like them doing more of the pixel art style that they did with Mario and Yoshi is going back to the well.
There's not a lot of, like if you think about, there's Mario, of course. We're talking Nintendo. There's not a lot of other stuff you can do that's worthy of a UCS. And Star Fox and the R-Wing is one, but Star Fox is not popular enough to justify doing a Ultimate Collector's on.
No.
So F-Zero, still not justifiable.
They got to lean into they got to lean into their Mario. Like, Mario's their guy, right? Like, that's who they're leaning into.
Metroid Chuck. I mean, I want a brick-built Ridley and Samus minifigure. That would be, but that's like $100 thing. That's not a, you know.
I just want a Samus helmet. Just give me a Samus.
Yeah.
helmet.
That's a great one. I would love that. That's sick. Yep.
But again, if you look at historically what they've done, right? It's Mario or Nintendo, right? It's a console. It's a handheld. It's like, it's their console that their American version of the console that started the whole thing, right? And it's the first handheld, right? That like kind of started the whole thing, right? And other than that, it's been Mario. So they haven't ventured out from that. And I just, as much as I would love to see them go down other lines, right now I feel like that's their bread and butter. I don't think they're going to go beyond that. They had an opportunity to do Tetris with the Game Boy, and they're obviously going away from that if they're only going to make it $60.
Yeah, Tetris. That's also owned by a different company, not by Nintendo.
Right, but if that was an opportunity to do it, if they were going to spend the money, like the Game Boy as a stand or side build, or a la Atari kind of thing, right?
Literally, it's the cartridge. You just put a sticker on the cartridge. Done.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, Tetris is as popular as it is because of the Game Boy. So if there's nothing, I would be shocked. I'd be really shocked if there was nothing Tetris in that set. They are synonymous in my head.
Are you concerned with the price tag of $60 on that thing? Do you think that's?
No.
Do you think?
I think it's going to be a life-size Game Boy. It's going to be like this. That's all you need it to be. You don't need it to be anything else.
Right, but you don't think that? I mean, they can't.
What else? They could have done something like with the Atari and had like the display things.
But let me put it. Is the Nintendo set as spectacular as it is without the TV? Or is it just a bland,
I think it is
boring? You think it still stands on its own without the TV attached?
I think it is, because you can actually load the cartridge in like you could on the NES, and it has the side of Mario built in, and the controller is pretty much 1-for-1.
Okay.
Not at obviously 250, but I think it does stand on its own for sure.
All right. Fair enough.
I want to, if they can do the Mario, the way he looks, and Bowser, I want to see. Actually, I'll just show you.
I just feel like they're missing an opportunity if they don't put a sound brick in that thing.
In which?
In the Game Boy.
I think they should. I want them to do this. I want to see how they get the funky funkiness of that controller, the N64 controller, in Lego. I think they can pull it off.
So
Imagine pulling that off in Lego, dude.
As an N64, then.
Yeah. It's a great controller, by the way. The Switch version of this controller, it's
so good. I can't play GoldenEye without it.
No, it's designed for that. Yeah.
That was the only reason I bought that controller, was so I could play GoldenEye with it.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
And I do enjoy playing with the NES version. I do enjoy playing Mario Brothers that way. I don't like playing with the Switch controllers on just playing Super Mario. There's just something about that rocker between the B and the A on the normal controller that just feels good.
I only have that N64. I don't have the SNES or NES controllers for Switch.
I didn't get the SNES ones. I feel like that's close enough to like the Pro controller style that I can make that work. Yeah. But that original style, that 2-button style of the original Nintendo controller on a game like Mario, it just feels like that's where the muscle memory kicks in, and it just feels right. And it's the same way with the uniqueness of that N64 controller. It's so unique and the layout is so different that you need it to make sense on games that utilized it. So
yeah.
Do they have Shadows of the Empire on the 64 store?
I think it might be part of a Star Wars bundle, not on the online.
Not a separate thing. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a game I wouldn't mind going back and playing again.
Yeah.
Just to remember how bad the the mechanics were. I always felt like you were like on ice when you were playing that game. Like the character, you just felt like you'd have to stop early because you slid a little bit. Every single time you were running, you would just stop and you would still keep moving a little bit, and then you would stop. Moonwalking in that game was very, very easy. I remember that. You could just turn on Billie Jean and just do a whole dance routine in the first stage in the Hoth base. You could just do whole Michael Jackson. You could put on the cinematic camera view that they had, and you could just do a whole dance routine with Billie Jean right there. And your guy, he could spin, he could moonwalk. Oh yeah, baby! Hours of time wasted moonwalking in that game. All right. Let's get the heck out of here. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around for the post show. Don't forget to mark your calendars for May 17th, not April 17th, May 17th. For that should be a blasty blast of a time, and end the Kickstarter the right way with some fun Mario Kart building and smack talk. I'm sure at some point in time somebody's going to throw a blue shell at each other. I don't know.
100%.
But thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you all. Catch us next week, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, let everybody know to get their tookuses in here. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys next time. Good night.